Hey everybody, my name is Alex with Hake Hardware, and in this video I'm going to cover a simple bot that uses AI and the X API to post tweets. It's a hot take bot, which the quality is questionable. The models are pretty underwhelming for hot takes, but I'm sure there's probably some models out there that do really well. I'm sure there's some models that, or some ways that you can modify the prompt to make these a little bit better. The purpose of this video is not really the quality of creating a good hot take bot, it's just how to perform the actions that are involved in making something like this. So here's the bot I created. It's not, again, I'm not even going to read the hot takes because they kind of suck. Um, I really need to add like, do not do a pineapple on pizza hot take because I think it's Grok that just loves pineapple on pizza hot takes. It made like 4 in a row the other day when I was testing. But anyways, let's get into the code because that is the part that is important. And if you haven't already watched my video on authenticating with the X API, I'll link that in the description. You're going to want to watch that first because there might be some things that are a little bit confusing if you don't. So, but we'll go through basically this code. So the new stuff from I merged in that XAuth example GitHub repo, which again I'll link in the description along with the video. I added an AI helper class, which basically just takes in your API key, the base URL for the AI that you want to use, a system prompt, and the model that you want to use. And then when you run the query function, you just pass in your user prompt the temperature, which kind of like changes how out there and wild the AI actually gets, and then the max tokens, just so you don't accidentally use like too many tokens. In my experience, these only use like a couple hundred tokens, if that, which is like a fraction of a penny, and then it returns the response from the AI. And then I've deleted the example.py that comes with the auth example, and I have this main.py. You can add more models here if you want. This is all stored in your environmental variable here, so you're going to want to change, like if you're using a llama, just make sure your model and base URL are correct. If you want to use OpenAI or XAI, just update your API keys. And then to post to X, you have to make sure you put in your client ID and your app ID or your client secret, what you're going to get from the X API. And that's covered in, again, the video that I just did recently. So let's go to the main.py here. You only need to put in the environmental variables for whatever model you want to use, and you can add in your own model here. You basically just need to have an API key, a model name, and a URL. If you're using something local like a llama, you don't necessarily need an API key. You can modify the system prompt. I just had AI generate a system prompt for somebody like a social media personality that posts hot takes. I wanted to add like some salt to the hot takes by changing the tones, but I don't know if it's working that great. Again, my hot takes are terrible, so you could probably fine tune some of this to make it a little bit better. And then all we really are doing here at this point is calling that helper class. So down here, we're creating our OpenAI instance of the AI class after we pass in. So in this example, I'm using XAI, and then we're creating an instance of the X class, which is that posts the actual posts on X, and we're creating a schedule. So every 120 minutes, it's going to generate a hot take, and when it generates a hot take, it will create a post on X after it gets the response from the AI helper class. So basically, every 120 minutes, it will ask AI to make a hot take. The response of that will then post on X. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy here, but there's a lot of potential with something like this. If you want to do something else that's maybe works a little bit better. And then yeah, this just statement down here, it's going to continuously run, waiting 60 seconds between each check, and it's going to check to see if anything needs to run, and the schedule is every 120 minutes. So every 120 minutes, this is going to be added to the queue, and it's going to run the pending tasks that it has, which is the generate hot take. So let's actually just run this once. If you want to have it run once initially, so if you don't have this here, the first time this function gets called is in 120 minutes. So I want it to just run once as like an example real quick. And we'll do like an XAI example, and we'll do a OpenAI example, just to kind of see the differences. But what's cool is you don't really need to like do much to change the models. You just have to change a few of these different things here. So, and you can even set it up to like change the models like it uses a different model every time or something. There's so much you can do here. I just wanted to provide a framework for anybody that's trying to figure this out, because it took me a little while. I'm not a developer, as can be seen by my code, but I like to do fun things like this just to learn. And let's just give it a go. I'm going to have to authenticate, so you'll see the authentication steps that you'll need to do, but again, I recommend watching the other video on authentication just to fully understand what's going on. So let's go ahead and click play here. Okay, so no token found for posting, so I need to go to this local host here. I'll go ahead and click that, and I'll show Firefox. So basically it's saying that my Sir Hot Takes app that I created, it needs access to my Sir Hot Takes account. So we're just going to authorize it. We can see authentication was successful, so I can close that window. Sorry, it was probably really bright. And then if we come back into our code here, we can see that we had the OAuth callback. And although you can't see it, I should add like a print statement in this X API to say that it had posted and what it posted. In fact, we could easily do that. We just put something like print post here, and then it's going to print what we posted. But we can always just check by going back to our browser. And the last one was 17 minutes ago. Let's try a refresh here. And we see, yes, Grok loves cancel culture. I don't know what it is about it. I could take a few guesses, but yeah, again, like these aren't necessarily high quality tweets here. Let's try instead, I'm gonna hit my rate limit here soon, but let's just have fun and try the OpenAI one to see if it's any better. I'm gonna run it. Let's go back to code here. Let's just do Control-C to stop it. And all we need to do is swap in like OpenAI API key, OpenAI model, OpenAI base URL, and that's it. So now I can use OpenAI instead, and you can see up here it was using api.x.ai, and if I run this now, it's using api.openai.com, and we can see this is what it posted, which already looks like it's probably slightly better. Let's go and refresh this. Dating apps are just grocery stores for emotions, where we're all the overripe avocados swiping right past. Ever thought maybe it's time to invest in that self-serve organic section, our own lives? So who knows if it's any good, but it is a hot take, I suppose. And that's just how you can switch different models. So you can see like the Grok 2 is pretty bad. OpenAI with GPT 4o is a little bit better, in my opinion. But the nice thing is you can swap around the models and use whatever you want. You can use your own local AI. I wanted to have Ollama running for this, but I just wanted to get this video out before work today. And that's really it. Hopefully this is helpful as a starter app. Please like the video if it was helpful, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing some more tutorials, specifically like Proxmox and Linux stuff. I do some coding things every once in a while. I'm going to be doing some more AI stuff, especially like Ollama stuff, because I have a PC that does pretty good with like local models here. So I'm going to try do some experiments with different models to kind of see, again, you know how we can kind of change the models and see which one was better with the hot takes. I want to try that with some other things too. Oh, I didn't even change back to Firefox, or I don't know if I showed it, but that was the latest hot take we just got. So, all right, hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.